Hey traders, what's up? We've got the watch list video here for Wednesday, July 29th. Showing you the spot. We had another pretty darn narrow range day. I had a really good day, but mostly because of a pre-market trade I had in Fran. So other than that, it was really dead. I actually didn't find one trade that I took today that I deemed worthy of throwing on the what we call the highlights page. So there's no highlights on that page from today. Like I said, I made a really nice pre-market trade in Fran, but overall it was really dead. I'll show you a 5 minute. Here's the daily of the SPY, but here's a 5 minute. And so here's the open. If you picture kind of a line here, went below the open, above the open, and then this is probably with an hour left in the session, probably right about here. It's still right back at the opening price, and then kind of fell apart a little bit into the close. But overall, narrow range day. You know what? I don't have pre-market on here. I was going to show you my Fran entry, but hang on a second here. So this is how I started my day. I'm really proud of this. So I missed the original pop in Fran and did a bid on the pullback, a buy zone pullback, 662 filled. And my first sell was 775. And you can see my sells there. This 11 never got filled, but from 662, had some really nice sells. My best one at 10. That is a massive pre-market trade for me because I am notorious for being a pretty crappy pre-market trader. But absolutely love that. Very proud of that one. And it was a pretty good start to my day. The rest of my day was uneventful. Anyway, I think I tweeted in the afternoon, if there's nothing to trade nothing. And, you talk about discipline in trading. Everyone thinks discipline is, waiting for a proper entry or not having FOMO, right? Not chasing. Or discipline is all of those things, but an untalked about discipline is knowing when to do nothing, right? Not over trading when there's not a lot of opportunity there. And I think that's one thing I really, really try to put forth to people. If there's really nothing setting up, you're going to nickel and dime yourself to death jacking around trying to trade a boring market. So, something to keep in mind. All right, so what am I watching tomorrow? Now, KODK, normally, it had a gap up, popped, and then most longs are underwater. Normally, I would not have this on watch. Normally, you would see this probably fill the gap over the next week or so, right? The only reason it's on watch is because it went out in after hours at 13:21. I kind of wish I'd have hung out in after hours. I had no idea it was going to do that, but it's actually, went out in after hours above today's high. So you do have some shorts caught in that. Did they all cover in after hours? I don't know. Certainly going to be on gap play watch tomorrow. VT is kind of interesting in that yesterday it hit 309. Today it hit 310. So over that 2-day high, we might have something. Not in love with that one, but I'm going to put it on watch. DNJR. Pretty handsome chart here. You had this a pop back here and it went into, sideways, but then you had a pop back here, sideways again, and it's really, really starting to push up. So nice volume today for that stock. It's worth noting that volume spike today still wasn't even 2 million shares. So it's definitely a thinner issue, but I definitely want to watch it. SBPH. Big volume today and closing near its highs. I'm going to watch that for potential follow-through play tomorrow. TBI, nice volume today, closing well off its highs, but still worth watching. I got to tell you though, again, a lot of these are, you see this big volume spike, but even that, barely 1 million shares. So a lot of these are thin ones that made the list, and I don't know why it's like that. There wasn't a lot of action, I guess, today, and that's why. SYPR, massive volume, 68 million, but I don't love it because it closed well off its highs. But as a day trader, I'm, negligent if I don't at least have that on a chart. The pot stocks, I think a couple weeks ago, maybe I started to say these pot stock charts are starting to look kind of interesting, and then they just did nothing, and then I forgot about them, and then today, pretty big volume. This CGC, pretty big volume and a strong close, ripped through. You can't see the 200-day on here, but 200 days probably right about here. Just ripped through it today. So we're definitely going to watch for some short covering and continuation plays in the pot stocks. I've chosen to put CGC on watch, but you could probably throw Tilray, Kron. I mean, there's plenty of them that are interesting, but that's the one I've chosen to watch. I really like that breakout in that one today. HMHC, really nice pop back here. Came back down, found support. Tried to pop back here, topped out at 279. Today topped out at 275. Absolutely worth a look. I like the look of this chart. Held support, starting to curl back up, and actually had some good news today. So that one is on watch tomorrow. LPCN, a handsome looking chart here, kind of a tight flag on the daily, very close to a potential breakout. JMIA, nice pop back here, pulled back and starting to curl back up. Today's high 1047. You get through that, probably break the half and maybe revisit and maybe break above this 1080. So let's keep that. That one's pretty strong. Oh, I did have another pop stock on watch. I did throw Cron on the list as well, because it hit 719 here and hit 720 here. Certainly interesting through 720 tomorrow. SGRP, big volume and strong close. Gonna watch that one. EMAN goes on bounce watch. You had the big pop here on a government contract. 2 days lower on much lower volume. This might be one of my favorite it's kind of a sleeper pick, right? Because, it went from 50 million shares 2 sessions later down to 4 million. That's actually kind of interesting action, but certainly a great bounce play setup. Couple more. ABUS just goes back on bounce watch. Don't love it. And then SNOA, nothing interesting here, but in after hours, this actually ripped through 12 and went out at $11. So possible gap and go tomorrow. It's a low float pharma stock, so we're going to watch that for a potential A+ setup. Remember, I only take trades based on this list or any morning gappers that we add to this list. If I get an intraday A+ setup, I'm in cash every night. So it's a pretty good way to go because I'm green. I don't know. I haven't done the percentage, but I'm almost green every day. And that's the way I like it. So, I tweeted the other day, if I hold something overnight, it'll open 50% lower in the morning. So this is what I've settled on. I make trading my job. I log in every day, take the A+ setups, usually green every day. And that's a better way to build your account than having this stock go red, from my swing portfolio, why this one's green and they offset each other. I prefer to do what I do. It's pretty lucrative once you learn how to trade it, A+ intraday setup. So I'm done babbling. We'll see y'all in chat tomorrow.